The small shop owner has bought in the Santa or in any Raitu Bazaar.
एक ही जगह पे मिलके those type of plastics are known as thermosetting plastics. Comparison, there are 3 types:
up, down, right, left.
I am not inferior to anyone.
We are Claris. We are top on the Everest. Congratulations.
I want to be a leader.
Hi Sparrows! A pleasant good afternoon to everyone. This is Akshya Sparrow from Belampur Institution, Manstal District. Well, I would like to pose some questions for you. Are you ready to answer my questions? Okay, can you name some insects which transmit the diseases? Yes, Sparrows, you are precisely correct. The insects which transmit the diseases like flies, cockroach and mosquitoes. These are the insects which transmit the diseases from one person to another person. Would you like to see the images of those insects? Okay, let me take the help of the screen and let me see those insects. So friends, here you can able to see some insects, right? These are the insects which transmit the diseases from one person to another person, and these insects lingered many places and then carried number of bacteria. By the bacteria we will fall ill. So these are the insects which transmit the diseases. And I would like to pose another question for you. Are you ready to answer for that? Okay. Can you name what diseases these insects may transmit? Yes, the diseases which are transmitted by the insects like malaria, cholera and dengue. These are the diseases which are transmitted by these insects. And you know Sparrows, nowadays malaria is a very dangerous disease and it's spreading many places in the world. Number of people are losing their life due to this malaria disease. And friends, really this malaria turn has an atom bomb blast in the world. And friends, it may not an exaggeration, it's a fact. Then see how malaria showing effect on the human beings. Yes, for that we should definitely eliminate this malaria disease from the world. But it's still now continuing in the world and number of people are losing their life. Really it's done a very difficult disease to eliminate. So for that, let us discuss about why this malaria turns a difficult disease to eliminate. So today our topic is nowadays why malaria is seen a difficult disease to eliminate. Nowadays why malaria is seen a difficult disease to eliminate. Before going to learn about why malaria turns as a difficult disease, let us learn about what is malaria. Yes, malaria is a very serious and harmful disease, and sometimes it also turns as a fatal disease. And do you know Sparrows how this malaria is causing? Yes Sparrows, you are precisely correct. The malaria is causing by the malarial parasite. There are 4 main kinds of malaria parasite are there. One is Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale and Plasmodium malariae. These are the 4 main kinds of malaria parasite which causes this malaria disease. And this malaria parasite is transmitted through the mosquito called as female Anopheles mosquito. I would like to show that mosquito for you with the help of screen. So here you can able to see a mosquito, right? Yes, this mosquito is called as female Anopheles mosquito, and this mosquito transmit the malaria parasite from one person to another person. And the malaria parasite is transmitted through the female Anopheles mosquito is first time discovered by Ronald Ross. He was a scientist called Ronald Ross, and he discovered that malaria parasite is transmitted through the female Anopheles mosquito. So that's why he got Nobel Prize in 1902. He got Nobel Prize in 1902. And friends, do you know that how can we identify the malaria disease? For example, I am suffering by malaria, but I doesn't know how I am suffering by malaria disease. Then how can I identify it? Yes, the symptom should be seen in my body while I am suffering by this malaria disease. Then I can easily identify, oh, I am suffering by malaria disease. Then I want to take a preventions for that. So that's why by that way I can identify the malaria disease. The same as the person who is suffering by this malaria will the symptom should be seen in his body. By that symptoms he can identify the malaria disease. The symptoms of malaria are, so please keep your eyes on the screen. So here you can see the symptoms of malaria, right? The symptoms of malaria are headache, flu-like illness and chills and muscle ache. These are the symptoms of malaria. By that we can identify, oh, we are suffering by malaria and we can take some preventions, right? So friends, do you know about malarial parasite? Yes friends, the malaria parasite spread its life in the two main hosts. They are mosquito and one other is human being. The mosquito is the primary host for this malaria parasite and the human is the secondary host for this malaria parasite. And half part of its life is spent in humans and half part of its life is spent in the mosquitoes. And the life is spent in the human beings is on a sexual reproduction and the life is spent in the mosquito is on a sexual reproduction. And let us see the malaria parasite in the human body with the help of the screen. Here you can see that a mosquito is biting on a human being. When the mosquito bites a human being, then it releases the saliva into the body. Along with the saliva, the malaria parasite is also entered into our body. The malaria parasite is also entered into our body and in the stage of sporocytes. And this sporocyte slowly enter into the liver cell and there it turns into cyzoid. After that it divides into the merocytes. And these merocytes which are present in the liver cell, then it feed the content and then the liver cell rupture. The liver cell will rupture and then these merocytes released into the blood. This stage is called as pre-erythrocytic cycle. And then these merocytes enter into the red blood cells and then it feed the content of the red blood cells and again it's turned into cyzoid and then merocytes. And when these red blood cells rupture and when the merocyte come out released from the red blood cell, and this stage is called as erythrocytic cycle. And then the causes of malaria will started in our body. And when this blood is sucked by mosquito and it's transmitted to the another person, then in this way the malaria parasite will transmit to another person. The infected blood will transmit to another person by this mosquitoes. Now you understand about the malarial parasite? Okay. And let's learn about the preventions. While we get the malaria disease, what are the preventions should we want to take? Yes, the main prevention is using anti-malarial drugs. By using the anti-malarial drugs, we can cure our malaria disease. And this is called as chemoprophylaxis. And by this chemoprophylaxis, the malaria parasite which present in our blood will killed. This chemoprophylaxis kill the blood stage of malaria parasite and frequently it prevent the symptoms of malaria. So that's why we must be use this anti-malaria drugs while we get the malaria disease. And the second prevention is that we should want to maintain the mosquito nets. By this mosquito nets, we can avoid the mosquito bite from us, because while the anti-malaria drugs are effectable or not effective, we doesn't know, we cannot able to say which are affected. So that why we want to use this mosquito nets before we are suffer by this malaria disease. Then by using this mosquito nets, we can avoid the mosquito bite. We know that the malaria is transmitted by the mosquitoes. Then so by using this mosquito nets, we can avoid the mosquito bites, then automatically we can avoid the malaria disease. So that's why we must be use this mosquito nets as a preventive way. And the second one is advising the international travelers. international travelers. By advising them, then we can avoid, we can reduce the malaria spreading, because these international travelers may live in the places where malaria is most common. So while they enter to our country, then along with them they also come with malaria parasite. So by that malaria parasite, when that malaria parasite will spread to another person, in this way the malaria is also spread, right? So that's why before they are entering to our country, we should want to advise them. So please you use the anti-malaria drugs while entering to our country to reduce the malaria spreading. So that's why we should want to advise the international travelers. And the fourth prevention is that advising the blood collecting center. Advising the blood collecting centers. By advising them, we can reduce the malaria disease, because by the blood collecting centers, while they are when they are transfusing the blood or organ transplant, then they use the shared needles or syringes. By that way, the infected person blood will transfer to another person. So that's why we should want to advise them, don't use the used syringes or needles to one person to another person. So that's why in this way we can control the malaria spreading. So these are the preventions we should want to follow while we get the malaria disease. And do you know, sparrows, mostly where this malaria is occurring? Yes, this malaria is mostly occurring in the places where very warm. Where the places are very warm, at that places this Anopheles mosquito will thrive. And this higher temperature of the place will allow the Anopheles mosquito to thrive. And the malaria parasite which present in the female Anopheles mosquito will need the warmth to growth and to transmit this malaria parasite to the humans before the Anopheles mosquito is mature. So that's why mostly this Anopheles mosquito will live in the places where very warm, and the regions like tropical and subtropical regions, and the countries like Africa, South Asia, Central Asia, Caribbean. These are the most places which are occurring by this malaria disease, because there is most higher temperature and the female Anopheles mosquito mostly survive then, and of course our India also. So by that way the mosquitoes live in those places. And do you know, sparrows, the 90% of people who are living in Africa, they passed away due to this malaria disease, and most of them, among them, most of children under the age of 5 years, they lost their life due to this malaria disease, because while this malaria parasite enter into the children's body, and it stopped the capillaries, and it stopped the blood functioning to the brain, then the blood cells will rupture and the blood is leaking in the children's body, and automatically this malaria turns as a cerebral malaria, and the children become unconscious, and it may also lead to death. So that's why mostly people who are living in Africa and children mostly lost their life. Friends, see how pity news it was. Children who are under the age of 5 years, they lost their life. We should definitely eliminate this malaria disease. See how the effect is showing on the human beings, and children under the age of 5 years, how long the life with just a small mosquito bite, a small mosquito bite, the number of people are losing their life. Do you know how this malaria turns a very difficult disease to eliminate? Yes, friends, because of mosquitoes. Do you know, the female Anopheles mosquito will transmit the malaria parasite to one person and another person. So in this way malaria is spreading and number of people are losing their life. So we must eradicate this mosquito population, and automatically we can eliminate the malaria disease also, right? If we eradicate this mosquito population, in our future we can eliminate this malaria disease. And friends, see what is this? Hey, see what is this? Yes, friends, this is the mosquito. Then why it arrived here? Let me ask it. Hey mosquito, why you arrived here? What do you want? What did you say? You eradicate the mosquito population. It's impossible with you. You eradicate the mosquito population? You are speaking nonsense. Do you know? We will transmit the malaria disease from one person to another person. You eradicate the mosquito population. Hello mosquito, what did you mean about our sparrows? We can, if we put an effort in the eradication of mosquito, you will definitely kill. Your mosquito population is definitely closed. Your chapter will closed. Oh, really? You eliminate the mosquito population? That seems you have. So, come on, say me, what are the ways you have to eliminate our mosquito population? Oh, friends, see here, we have many insect repellents. So, we have All Out and we have one coil, and here we have some mosquito killing peppers, right? So, by this we can kill this mosquito population. Then see this mosquito, how dare it speaking. So, we want to show what is our sparrow's talent, okay. So, are you think you with these insecticides you eliminate our mosquito population? It's impossible with these insecticides, these repellents also. Do you know, we develop resistant power in our body. So, how even though use these insecticides also, you may not kill me. So, then what is your way? You doesn't kill our mosquito population. Hello mosquito, or you think we have only one way to eliminate you? We have number of ways to eliminate you. I am here to explain what are the ways to eradicate your mosquito population, okay. So, watch and see, and when I am killed, you go to hell. So, friends, this mosquito said that even though we are using these insecticides, it develops resistant power in its body. Then what is the next option for us? Yes, Pharaohs, you are absolutely correct. The next option for is that nowadays the forests are cutting down, right? By cutting down the forest, the animals and the birds, plant species which are living in the forest becoming extinct. In the same way, if we use to these mosquitoes, if we eradicate, if we destroy, if we havoc the habitations of these mosquitoes, and then we can automatically eradicate the mosquito population. Then we can automatically eradicate the mosquito population. So, friends, now still onwards, our main motto is eliminating this mosquito population, and next the eliminating the malaria disease from our country. But so for that, we should want to destroy the stagnant water and untidy places, and we should want to remove the unclean places, and we should want to keep our surroundings clean and neat. So, by that we can avoid this mosquito population. Do you know why? In the stagnant water, these mosquitoes are breed. These mosquitoes are breed and then lay number of eggs. And here you can see some untidy places, right? So, friends, by maintaining these untidy places, the mosquito population is reducing, because in these places these mosquitoes are survive. And here you can see some stagnant water picture, right? So, in this visual, the stagnant water, by this stagnant water, this mosquito lay some eggs. So, by that eggs, do you know the female Anopheles mosquito daily it lays one time it lays 200 of eggs in this stagnant water. So, that is why the mosquito population is increasing. So, we should want to havoc this stagnant water. So, are you havoc this stagnant water? Okay, I know you can keep your surroundings clean, and you can also destroy this stagnant water, because you are the sparrows. So, friends, we should want to remove this stagnant water, and we should want to keep this surroundings clean and neat. And friends, it may also seems to Swachha Bharat, right? So, recently our Prime Minister Narendra Modi Garu started this Swachha Bharat program. So, by that we are nowadays we are keeping our surroundings clean and neat, and we are keeping our surroundings clean and neat, and we are also removing the stagnant water. So, here you can see Swachha Bharat program, how it is running in our country. So, we should want to keep our surroundings clean and neat. So, here our Narendra Modi was cleaning his surroundings clean and neat. In the same way, we should want to keep our surroundings clean and neat. Okay. So, friends, nowadays even we are doing this Swachha Bharat also, we are not eliminating this mosquito population. Why? even we are doing Swachha Bharat, we are not keeping our, even we are running this Swachha Bharat program in our country, even it is introduced in our country, still now the mosquito population is increasing, the malaria is also occurring in our country. What is the reason for it? Do you know that the Sri Lanka and also the countries like USA are already eradicate the mosquito population, and then now they are like their turns as a malaria free country. Then what about our country? Do you know about Sri Lanka? In the Sri Lanka, they eradicate the mosquito population, and then still now they become as a malaria free country. 90 years ago, the Sri Lanka was a worst place in the world which is infected by the malaria. So, but now it turns as a malaria free country. Then what is the reason for that? Do you know the World Health Organization also declared that the Sri Lanka is the malaria free country. Then how it is possible? Even 90 years ago, they are the countries most affected by malaria. How it is possible? Do you know? Yes, the political administration determined to eradicate the mosquito population. So that's why they become as a malaria free country, and the people who are living in the Sri Lanka, the rural area people will keep that stagnant water. They unknowingly suffered by this malaria, and they sleep in the open places, right? So that's why the malaria is occurred mostly in Sri Lanka. So for that, the political administrations supply the funds for that people, and they supply nuts and anti-malaria drugs for that people and medications, and they also supply the malaria clinics, mobile malaria clinics for those rural places. So that's why the Sri Lanka eliminated this mosquito population, and now they become as a malaria free country. Then not only Sri Lanka, friends, and also USA. The USA also eradicate the mosquito population, and now they become as a malaria free country. So then what about our country? Do you know the USA, from dusk to dawn, they keep the doors and windows, and they prevent the mosquito bite. By that way they eliminated the mosquito population. So when they prevented that mosquito bite, then the mosquitoes think that, oh, we are not getting any food from these people, so we want to drop this, doesn't survive in that country. So that's why they eliminated at that place. Because the Americans, the USA people doesn't give the chance to the blood to suck the blood. So that's why the Anopheles mosquito which are living at USA, they eliminated. So that's why in this way, if we follow in our country, then we can also automatically eradicate the mosquito population. So do you know, friends, the people who are living in our India, they are keeping the stagnant water. Do you know in what ways they are keeping the stagnant water? In tanks, in wells, they are storing the water. The water is logging, so they become a sites for the mosquitoes. Here you can able to see the mosquito sites. So friends, here you can able to see that water logging at construction site, unutilized buckets, water tanks, flat terrace, tiles. By that malaria site, we are giving a scope for the mosquitoes to breed. So in that way the mosquito population is increasing. Here you can able to see that water logging at construction. So while the construction is running, when the rain is occurred, the water is logged in that construction, and in that way we are giving much scope for the mosquitoes to breed. And here you can able to see unutilized buckets. We are throwing the unutilized buckets. When the rainy season occurs, when the rainfall will occurs, the water is stored in that buckets. So when the water is stored, then we are giving a scope for the mosquitoes to breed, and then we are also maintaining tanks to store the water. So by storing the water in the tanks, we are giving a scope for the mosquitoes to breed in the water, and they lay eggs in the water. And we are also maintaining, and we are also throwing unutilized utensils outside. When the rain occurs, it filled, and they turn has a stagnant water. Then the mosquitoes breed on the water. And we are nowadays we are constructing the buildings with a flat. Right, we are constructing the building as a with a flat terrace. By that, when the rainfall occurs, the water is stored on the terrace, and by that way we are giving a scope for the mosquitoes to breed. On those days we use a sloped roof, right? Then when the rainfall occurs, the water will a chance to drain. But nowadays we are constructing the buildings like with a terrace. So then the water is logging, the malaria, the mosquitoes are breeding at that water, and the mosquito population is increasing in this space. So that's why we should want to remove these all things. We should want to forget these all things, and we want to start newly. So even to use this tanks and wells, we should want to use in a proper way. For example, if you use the tanks, then the tanks should be covered with the plastic cover, with a black plastic cover. Then the wind doesn't give a chance to mosquitoes to allow. Then they doesn't enter into the water and they doesn't breed, and the mosquito population is slowly reduced. The mosquito population is slowly reduced, and then even while we are throwing the unutilized utensils, then the water is filling in that water, right? So we doesn't throw that unutilized utensils. We should want to keep in a storeroom, and we want to make that things as a useful things, and then we should want to and these are we discussed about the tanks, and we are throwing unutilized buckets. So in this way, these are the man-made sites, but there are also natural sites, right? The natural sites like ponds and also lakes. So those are the natural sites for these mosquitoes. So even now we are also using those natural ponds and lakes for our uses, right? So while we are using that ponds and lakes, we should want to pour some kerosene on them or engine oil on them. Then it's turned has a layer on that water, and then the larva which is present in the water will killed. The larva which is present in the water will die with the suffocation. So that's why we should want to pour some kerosene or engine oil on the water to reduce the mosquito population. And the another way is that here you can see some fishes, right? So these are the fishes. So the fishes are like guppy male and female, and gambusia male and female. By using these fishes in the ponds and lakes, we can reduce the mosquito population. Do you know how? Yes, sparrows. While these fishes in the water, then they eat the larva of the mosquitoes. Then the mosquito population is slowly reduced, and by using these fishes, and it is also eco-friendly, right? So that's why these are the preventive measures we should want to follow. We want to follow to reduce the mosquito population and to make our country malaria free. And friends, I would like to show one other thing, that is ABCD fight against with the malaria. Do you know how? Do you may get doubt, right? What is ABCD and how it is fight against malaria? Let us see, okay? So friends, here you can able to see the ABCD fight against malaria. So do you know what is A? Yes, sparrows. A stand for awareness. We should want to aware of the malaria disease. We should want, when we recognize the malaria, we should want to aware of the malaria disease. And here you can see B. B stands for bite prevention. B stands for bite prevention, and it controls the mosquitoes. And then chemoprophylaxis. Chemoprophylaxis, we already learned about this, right? It is an anti-malarial drug. We should want to use the medications to prevent the mosquito, to reduce to cure our malaria disease. And D stands for diagnosis. And then it's by the diagnosing the malaria, while we recognize the malaria disease, we should want to take the diagnostics test. So friends, here you can see that awareness, right? Malaria risk awareness, initial symptoms of fever. So we know that while we are suffering by malaria, we get these symptoms. So while we seeing the symptoms in our body, we should want to aware of them, and we should want to consult a doctor, and we should want to take some prevention. If we doesn't take the prevention, do you know what will happen? Then it's turned into cerebral malaria. So the cerebral malaria is a consequence of severe malaria with supplementary signs, that is irritability, confusion, convulsions, coma. Sometimes it also leads to death. So that's why we should want to aware of the malaria. We should want to aware of the malaria. By that we can simply cure the malaria disease. And then B stands for mosquito bite prevention. B stands for bite prevention. By avoiding the mosquito bite, then we can automatically prevented by this malaria disease. So that's why we should want to take a bite prevention. So by taking the bite prevention, we can avoid the mosquito bite, and we can also avoid the malaria disease. And then so here you can able to see chemoprophylaxis, right? You can able to see chemoprophylaxis. So by using the anti-malaria drugs, we can cure the malaria disease. By this is called as chemoprophylaxis. We should want to use this preventive measure while we get the malaria disease. So we must be use the anti-malarial drugs. Okay, now friends, are you understand? Are you following? And then you must be use this anti-malarial drugs. And then let us see diagnosis. So friends, here please keep your eyes on the screen. So here you can see diagnosis. If we want to recognize the malaria early, then we can cure the malaria early and without going the malaria as a severe disease. So we should want to see a doctor urgently. If you suspect malaria, symptoms may arise 1 week more after entering a malaria risk area, and symptoms may develop up to 3 months after departure, and immediate treatment is essential. Even if you are taking prevention treatment, be aware, ensure early diagnosis. Now friends, now you understand about ABCD. So by using this ABCD, we can simply eradicate this mosquito population. Now you understand about what is malaria and how it is causing, how it is transmitting, and why it turns a difficult disease to eliminate, and why what are the prevention should we want to take to avoid this malaria. So we must be eliminate this malaria disease from the world. Okay, and so friends, we know that the Sri Lanka and the USA eliminate the mosquito, they eradicate the malaria, right? Then why we are not able to eliminate this malaria disease in our country? Because the people are they are making very negligence by removing the stagnant water. And the main thing is that the government is not showing priority in the eradication of malaria. The government doesn't giving a funds to supply bed nets or improving the drainage works, and the government is not giving a funds to the mobile malaria clinics, and the government doesn't do anything for the eradication of malaria. So our government should want to show priority, and the government should want to launch many programs about this eradication of malaria. Then we can simply eliminate this malaria disease. And friends, what the responsibility of us is, I know you can keep the surroundings clean and neat, but it's not enough, friends. We should want to by keeping the surroundings clean and neat, we should want to launch. We all come from different villages, right? So we know everything about our villages, and when you return to your villages, you want to launch some programs like to eradication of malaria, because unknowingly number of people are losing their life. Simply they are losing their life due to this malaria disease, and unknowingly it's leading to death. So that's why you should, when you return to your villages, you want to launch some programs about this eradication of malaria. Then you want to tell everything about this malaria disease and how it is causing and how it is transmitting. And hello Sweros.
Hello Swero, this is G. Badrinarayana Swero from COE Karimnagar.
Oh, how are you?
I am fine, Swero.
What's your doubt?
My question is, already you have said that we will get malaria disease from the female Anopheles mosquito by the releasing of plasmodium from it. My doubt is, from where that female Anopheles mosquito will get that plasmodium?
Okay, your doubt is, I will clear your doubt. The malaria parasite, the plasmodium bacteria is taking from, while our blood, when the blood is infected, so by that it is taking the plasmodium bacteria from our body. So friends, I I doesn't know this answer, but I am trying to tell about it. So I want to clear your doubt with your right answer by referring books in my library or in our school. But I know that the Plasmodium bacteria is present in the human body and also in the mosquito. It spend its life in the both human and it spend its life both human and also mosquitoes. So it is a malaria parasite which present in human body and in also mosquitoes. Are you clear your doubt? But I know that I doesn't give a clear answer, but I refer in my school. Okay. Hello, Sweros.
Hello, hi, Swero.
How are you, Swero? What's your doubt?
Fine, Swero. My name is Neha Swero from.
So, what's your doubt, Swero?
Name some other diseases which are caused by mosquitoes.
Yes, Swero, it's a good question. The diseases are caused by the mosquitoes are like dengue and dengue and also yellow fever, which is caused by the Culex mosquito. These are the diseases or some other diseases which are caused by the mosquitoes. Are you clear your doubts, Swero?
Yes, Swero, thank you.
Okay, thank you for your call. And friends, now you understand about. Hello, Swero. Hello, Swero, how are you? Hello.
Hello, Swero.
Hello, Swero, what's your doubt?
My question. Hello, Swero.
Hello, Swero, what's your doubt?
My question is why malaria disease will caused mainly by female Anopheles mosquitoes.
Okay, Swero, the female Anopheles mosquito, only the female Anopheles mosquito can transmit the malaria parasite. So that's why by the female Anopheles mosquito the malaria disease is spreading, and only the female Anopheles mosquito we are causing by the malaria disease. Are you clear your doubt? Are you clear your doubts, Swero? Okay. And friends, finally, my advisement is for you is that, friends, you are the Sweros, right? So I know you can keep your surroundings clean and neat, and the same way you also launch many programs in your village, and you want to explain everything about the eradication of malaria disease, and you want to say how it is causing, and you should want to bring awareness in the people in the eradication of mosquito population, and then we can make our country as a malaria free. Okay, this is my last advisement for you, Swero. You should want to follow this. I know you can follow because you are the Sweros. Okay, and so for this I am very thankful for principal madam, and also I thankful for my guiding teacher who guide me, and I am very, very thankful for our secretary sir who gave a chance to take a class in Mana TV. And bye, Sweros.